Well, it's April 28th. I do believe it's day 44 if I did the math right, which is that's too long. Feeling pretty good after my zero in Payson. I'm back at the Pine Trailhead. I got some good rest, ate a lot, and I'm tired, but I'm ready to roll. Hoping to make at least 15 miles today. Should be only about 2,100 gain or something. About 1,200 loss, so not too bad. We're near Pine, so hopefully the trails stay good because they like to keep the trails real nice right near the tourist towns, of course. And go from there. I'd read they'd done some prescribed burns through here. Looks like they came right back in, made the trail nice. It's wonderful. I love to see the sustainable practices and trying to avoid forest fires. Trying to avoid forest fires in Arizona when there's hardly any trees. Awesome. Northbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We gonna do what they said can't be done. Now I may be wrong, but I believe that there is the Superstitions. I'm too zoomed in to point. And then over here we went through the Four Peaks. That's where I left my knees. And then we went all through the Mazatzals, and then down out of them, up here into Pine. Now I stand here, and I look over here, and that is the Mogollon Rim. And I'll be at the base of that. Hopefully, I want to be at the base of that tonight so I can climb it in the morning. But, you know, things change at the drop of a hat. So we got a ways to go, but we've been even further. Love it. Well, we just set a record. 2 hours, maybe a little bit under. 5.3 miles, 2.7 miles an hour. That's pretty solid with a full pack, with full resupply and water and everything. Because after you take a day off, the best thing to do is to just go run on that sore knee right away. And that's what I did. But I've been beating myself up about eating and drinking enough, and so I've stopped here in some shade, and I'm gonna guzzle some water, and hopefully I can keep this momentum up. Trail's real nice. I'm still on a real nice tourist trail. And I say that because, you know, 5-10 miles in, it gets rough as hell because they don't want tourists out there getting hurt. So it gives a little obstacle, tells them to turn around and go home. Anyhow, it's time to fuel up and keep moving and making hay while the sun shines. That's a bear. Where'd it go? There it is. It's over there. Oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna get there. He is. That's a bear. Oh, a little black bear. I wouldn't call it a cub, but he wasn't old. And I talked to a dozen people that said they live here all their life, never saw a black bear. That's about the same for in Washington. I've seen black bear in parks where they're used to humans, but not in the wild. So that's cool. Well, I'm at a trailhead here. I've been 10 miles, 2.4 miles an hour. It's pretty sweet. And even with chatting to talk with an 81-year-old guy, stopped and talked with him for a while. He's just out crushing miles because he can. To get me where I want to be today, it's going to take 22 miles total, and that's not going to happen. But I'm really hoping to make 8.5 more. And I got to go the same direction that that bear went. But I think that he didn't know that I was here. And that's the only reason I saw him. So I'll just make sure to make a bunch of noise while I'm walking, which isn't a problem. I'm pretty heavy-footed. I just love the trail work that these crews have put in. This is a wash that runs across the trail and regularly tears up the trail. And they've sourced all these stones out of it in order to basically pave the trail and this portion of the wash to allow the water to go by, and so that we can continue to have a crossable trail, and that so that it'll just function like that for years to come. And not only is it really functional and awesome that they put in the hard work, but it's also really pretty. Okay, another video on campsite placement. So if you're gonna camp around here, we've got a lot of burned up trees, and you're usually looking up at the tops. See, well, are they alive? You know, because if they're alive, they're usually good. This one's a little bit newer to me, but see this tree, it was alive when it fell. It was alive not long ago. Needles haven't even turned. But its stump was so burned out that the tree was very much weakened, and but still the tree lived. So just because the tree has foliage on the top does not mean that it's a safe tree. That you would also want to look at the integrity of the trunk underneath. Yeah, that is a new one on me. It's right on the edge of this heavy burn, and the burn stopped about right here. And you know, with all this green on top, I wouldn't have thought twice to camp near around this tree. Personal record today, 21.9 miles. Sausage! Well, I can't believe that I made 21.9 miles today. I made good mileage in the morning, ate well, still had a headache. The fatigue wasn't there though. I ran into a couple dudes who were pushing pretty quick, but I was able to pace them and stick with them. Had some good conversation, and that pushed us. That made it so that I was able to go and do that, and it's really amazing. I hope I don't have to pay for it too much tomorrow. I got a big climb in the morning up to onto the Magoyan Rim. I hope to make it about 18 miles, which is maybe kind of a long stretch considering what I did today. If I can do anything but a trail zero right here tomorrow, then it's a win. And it's time for second dinner, which is ramen with summer sausage. All right, day 45. Got to sleep last night next to some sweet ass Arizona waterfalls. Walked real far. I didn't sleep that well, so I don't know how good my recovery was, but I feel all right. But it's pretty awesome hitting the record yesterday, 22 miles. And I'm not going to do that today. Today I've got water as far as 12, and I'd like to get to 18, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'll hit the wall before then. But I'm going to make a massive climb up onto the Mogollon Rim today. That's the first thing we're going to do this morning, and then it's going to flatten out. And once it flattens out, well, maybe I'll be looking at those big trail miles again. So we'll find out. Anyhow, health is up. I've drank water. My oats sucked without sugar. And well, I better make those big miles because I think I ate a lot of my food last night. I mean, I know I ate a lot of my food last night, but I think I ate probably 8,000 calories yesterday. So chances are I'm not in too much of a calorie deficit today, which is good because I've got some work to do. This high canyon here is just the prettiest place. A lot of familiar birds chirping. I hear a red-breasted nuthatch. Had some ravens making fun cell phone noises. I heard a pileated woodpecker, which that'd be the first I've heard in Arizona. I could be totally wrong, but because this is all that's ID by me. But it is just incredible here. I think it's just gonna keep getting prettier. Not only did I not expect to see Easter lilies here, I mean, it's definitely a trillium, of a different type than we have at home. But I also just spotted this guy. That looks an awful lot like a strawberry to me. How cool. Holy waterfall. That one's catching air. Well, I'm off trail. Evidently I didn't hook back up onto the trail, so I'm just gonna go and bushwhack and head down in this canyon. Hopefully I don't get cliffed out. If I do, it'll suck. If not, it'll be okay. Oh yeah, I'm cliffed out. So we're gonna go climb some other hills and make our way around. Fun day. Pretty cool stuff down here in this creek bottom. Cool rock formations. This is a good bushwhack. We might get our feet wet getting across the other side, but not the biggest deal. I think I can pick up the trail right over there. Ooh, I think I don't even have to get my feet wet. Beautiful. Well, I came down that hill on the other side and made my way around, across the creek. Most successful, awesome bushwhack ever. Cool stuff to see. Back on trail. I'm not even sure how much time I added. Oh yeah, we're 3.5 miles in for the day and decided to stop and have second breakfast. As I'm packing up here, it's decided to start raining and hailing. I don't think we had any of that in the forecast, but should be fine. Not all that worried about it. Quilt's wrapped up. I got a raincoat. Probably be fleeting. Well, I just saw a blue heron for real, and that's pretty exciting to see one in Arizona. Otherwise, the hail is now turned to snow, or maybe rather a wintry mix. And well, I'm warm enough. I just need my quilt to stay dry. That's all that really matters to me. And we're up on the Mogollon Rim, and it's really pretty and fairly flat. So we talked about shale and it being a seafloor. This here, this edge and this vein is actually a petrified seashell. They're all over here, up on the Mogollon Rim. It's just littered with pieces of petrified seashell. That's really cool. This is a pretty cool one. You can see what looks like the shell underneath here, and then this possibly could be body that was fossilized with quartz rolling in. But I'd like to say again, we're at 7,000 feet or so. It's snowing and raining. It's 50 degrees, which is really weird. And we have seashells, and we're on an old seabed. And that's wild, man. Today is quite the day. We're having a good couple of days here. Bears and seashells and bushwhacks. With any luck, we'll get to see some elk. There are a bunch of them out here. And we've got thunder and lightning. Well, I'm pretty toast. I really like to camp. There's water here. I'm in a canyon where there's usually not somewhere to camp, but look at all this camping. You think we want to sleep here? We could just sleep in this wash where there's thunder overhead and could just get a deluge out of the sky at any second. So much for that. We've learned that lesson. I might get creative, or I might just go another 5 miles. There's a campground that's got a toilet. That's pretty exciting. I've had to hunker in the brush 3 times today. I'm fighting the 4th. It's also got a water spigot. Pretty excited about that. And I bet it even has picnic tables. Picnic tables are gold. Anyhow, I got 600 feet to climb up to get onto this plateau here so I can be closer to the lightning. And I'll go from there. It's too late and too cold for more snow. I'm still climbing this hill. Hell. Shellacking dumpage. Well, privies. They aren't the most glorious place in the world, but they can really help you out. I went off trail a short ways to a campground, not my destination. I would stay here, but there's no water. I've only got a liter of water, and but it's helping me get out of the cold, so I can get into my pack, get what I need, get dry, get comfortable, so I can hike the last few miles. If I had to in a pinch, I could sleep in here, and it can really save you. You'd be thirsty for a night, it'd be okay. Anyway, I've got a few miles to make, and I'm gonna get warm. Okay, I made it out of the privy. It's cold, and I'm starting to warm up a little bit. I've got 3 miles to go to my destination, where there will be more privies, camps, and water. And today has been quite the day. Well, I sure hope that those are campfires down at the campground that I'm walking into, and that I'm not walking into a forest fire. Okay, well, I'm kind of hypothermic, but not bad. It took me till I got here 3 miles before I started to warm up a little bit. And I got set up. And now I'm just waiting for my body heat to heat up my quilt. I'm just shivering. I've got some warm food in my quilt with me, heating it up. and heating up my sleeping pad. Today really started out just so wonderful and beautiful, and I couldn't even get on trail. I was so busy and enamored with nature. And then the snow came, and it just snowed for hours. And I probably should have just packed up some water back at that wash and got creative with camping instead of trying to get where I was going. I made it 16 miles, and I'm gonna eat and go to sleep. My feet really hurt from being kind of wet, and the socks raking up my feet, and everything hurts. My sleep was pretty bad last night, so I didn't recover well, I think. But I'll plan my day. I'm not even gonna think about tomorrow yet. But here's to warming up, and good night.